Okay, so on chapter 27, we'll start with the chapter 27 material. This is the Piel chapter, and we'll look at this first, and then we'll look at the homework for the chapter 28, the Pual section. So what questions do you have here? Which ones do you want to go through? Number 2. Let's take a look at number 2 here. All right, let me read this out loud. Tza'aku elaiv velo shamatam bikishucha velo matza'u otam. Now, let's talk about what we're looking at here. What we have, first of all, with, let's see, Tza'aku. I have 3 root letters here, tza'ak. Do you remember what this verb means? To cry out. Good. I'll go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. So look at the A-class vowel that I have here under root 1. I have an A-class vowel and a shuric at the end. Okay. What stem would you expect this verb to be in? The cal. Okay. So this would be a cal. There's no prefix, so it would be the cal perfect with a shuric at the end. What would that be? 3CP. Okay. So they cried out, elecha. Which preposition is this? Yeah, to or toward. It's usually when there's no pronominal suffix, L plus a makaf, okay? But we can add a pronominal suffix to this verb as well. And which pronoun is this ka ending here? To ms, okay? So who did they cry out to? They cried out to you, velo shamatam, or velo shamatam. But not shamad. There's my verb root. And I have a ta ending here. That is familiar, right? Think of the ka ending for you as a pronoun. This is the ta ending for the perfect 2ms. You did not shama. You did not hear. And so what's the mem doing on the back end here? Yeah, this is a direct object pronominal suffix. When it's a mem, it's 3MP. You did not hear them. Okay? You did not hear them. Now, I have another clause here. Bikashucha. Here I have 3 root letters as well. But notice that, and I have a shuric at the end, which is reminiscent of Sa'aku, they cried out. This is they bakashed, but notice my vowel points a kyric and a doubling dot in root 2, whereas here it was the perfect, the long A and the vocal shava. Okay? So this is the PL perfect, 3CP. What does bakash mean in the PL? To seek, right. So they sought. And then what's the ka? It's telling me who they sought. That's 2ms pronoun. So they sought you. Velo ma'atsu. What's matzah? To find. Again, is this the cal or the PL? Perfect. 3CP. It's the cal. I've got that long A vowel under root 1. Okay, so they sought you, but they did not find. And then I have otah. Otah. This is you. This is the 2ms pronoun with the direct object marker 8th. Now, here's the thing. I have an accent mark here. You guys remember what this accent mark is called here at the back end? You don't remember. Yeah, Saluk is the accent mark, and it accompanies the Sof Pasuk, which is the verse divider. Okay? There's another thing that looks like a Saluk, and it's way over here, and that's called Metheg. Now remember, Metheg is not an accent mark. Metheg always occurs before the tone syllable to tell you to fully pronounce the vowel. Okay, the accent is on the end here. Tsa'aku, tsa'aku. Okay, but here the accent is actually, the saluk is an accent mark, and it's a disjunctive accent mark, and it's the strongest one, and it can cause what's called pausal lengthening. And that's what's happened here. Ross talks about this. So let me just go down here. The normal way I would expect to see this form would be o to ha, where you actually see the ka ending. But if I get pausal lengthening here, then this is going to become o ta. Okay, and now it looks like the 2fs pronoun, but it's not really. It's still this is the 2ms pronoun with pausal lengthening. Okay, so that's what I've got here. We saw the same thing, and this was in the Ross chapter. The form of the lamed preposition with the 2ms is usually l'cha, but when I have pausal lengthening, say if I get a saluk here, then it becomes lach, like that. All right, so we didn't all of a sudden switch to a you woman over here in our sentence. Okay, they sought you to a mess, but they did not find you, the pausally lengthened to a mess form. Okay. All right. Are there any other questions about verse 2 here? Okay. Other questions? All right. Let's look at number 4. Again, I'll read this out loud for you. I have Vai vakshu kol malchei haaretz et panei melech Yisrael vayhi b'shomam et hokmato vayhalalu et Elohei Yisrael. Okay, so this is a rather lengthy exercise here. Thankfully, you know all your vocabulary words, so this should be pretty easy, right? I jest, of course. Okay, so let me do this. Let me highlight the verb forms real quickly. So, vaivakshu, here's my 3 root letters, okay? And I have a va in front of yavakshu. So this tells me that I'm dealing with a WCI form, or a vayiktal form. Prefix yod, shurk on the end. What is that going to tell me? What person, gender, number is this? With the imperfect prefixes, it's 3MP, right? Now, here's the question. Is it the kal, nifal, piel, or pual? Look at the shava under the yod. Look at the pathak under root 1. What is that characteristic of? It's characteristic of the piel. Remember, the kal would have a kirik under the yod and a silent shava under root 1. All right? So this is a piel. Now, what am I missing from the piel that I'm accustomed to seeing? I want a dagesh forte in root 2. Why don't I have one? Kov is Kof is a squintum levy letter. Remember squintum levy. These are the letters that when you try to put a dagesh forte in them and a vocal shava under them, which is what I was trying to do here, I usually lose that dagesh forte. Okay? Same thing with the yod of va yivakashu. I wanted a dagesh forte in that one as well, but yod is also a squintum levy letter, so I could see that dagesh forte missing, and I do here. All right? Now, still doesn't matter. You can still parse this. This couldn't be anything else. It's got to be a Piel. All right, so what does bakash mean in the Piel? To seek, right? So, and who did that? Who did this? 3MP, and they sought. Now, what's my subject here? Look at kol malkei haaretz. What does that mean? All the kings of the earth. This is a masculine plural construct form, right? You see the Sere Yod, the Canadian ending? So I'm going to read all of this together as forming one unit. And since it's plural, it could be the subject of this third masculine plural verb. And all the kings of the earth sought. What did they seek? Et marks my direct object. They sought Pnei Melech Yisrael. What is Pnei? It's face. The absolute form is panim with an im ending. But here I have the Canadian ending. So what can you tell me about that? It's in construct. So this is thing one, and this is thing two. But notice that Melech, even though it's masculine singular, doesn't have an ending, and because it's a singular noun, won't shift its stress. It occurs right beside the noun Yisrael. I have three nouns side by side. None of them are definite unless this is a three-part construct chain where Yisrael, being a proper noun, makes both of these definite. And if it does, that will explain why the direct object marker et is used, because it can only mark what kind of direct objects? Definite direct objects. Okay? So I'm going to translate this whole series of nouns definite because I'm going to take them as a construct chain. So all the kings of the earth sought, direct object, the face of, the king of Israel. All right? Now, there's one other thing about the word face. I told you that the absolute form is panim, which is plural. Is it going to be translated as faces when you come to it? No, panim is always plural, even when the word face is singular, okay? So, you just have to make allowance for that in your translation. Now, what happens next? Vaihi, there's my haya form as a WCI, so what time frame is this? It's past. Now, the old King James translated this, and it came to pass, right? But you don't have to translate it. Just remember, this is signaling as a discourse marker, past time. And you go to the prepositional phrase here. So I have a preposition bet, I have a pronominal suffix, and I have three root letters. What kind of verbal form takes preposition bets in front and pronominal suffixes on the back side? No, not participles, not usually. The infinitive construct is the form that takes prepositions prefixed and often pronoun suffixes. Okay? Now, this is b-shom am. B-shom am. That's a kametz ketuf here. Which stem has infinitive construct forms that use this kametz ketuf and silent shava like this? Let me take you back in time a mere couple of weeks. Do you remember this handout? All the forms of the strong verb, pakad, pakada for the perfect, imperfect, yif code, tif code, tif code. If you go to the infinitive construct forms, what do we have? The normal infinitive construct is pakod, But if I add a pronominal suffix, I'm going to see kametz ketuf, silent shava, poke do, poke da, poke daha, poke dech, poke di, right? Somebody's act of pakading. So this is characteristic of the cow. All right. So back to our homework. What we're looking at here is a cal infinitive construct with a preposition bet, and which pronoun is the am pronoun? That's third masculine plural. Now, when I have a bet preposition attached to an infinitive, how am I going to translate the bet? I can't hear you. Well, I could translate it as in, but it has temporal nuance, so I want to translate it as when, right? Literally, in the act of hearing of them means when they hear. Or, since the WCI tells me that this is past, I need to translate the infinitive as past. When they heard. When they heard what? Well, et is marking another direct object. When they heard hokmato. There's the 3ms pronoun. When they heard his hokmat. When they heard his wisdom, what did they do? I have another WCI, va. See that pathak there? And I have my 3 root letters and a yod prefix and a shuric suffix. So that's 3MP. They halaled. What does halal mean? Praised. They praised. Is this the Kal, Nifal, Piel, or Pual? It's a Piel. How do I know? Well, I don't have a doubling dot in root 2, but Lamed is a Squinum Levy letter, right? And so I wanted a Dagesh Forte in the Lamed, but since it has a vocal Shava under it, it lost its Dagesh Forte. But it does have that characteristic PL A vowel under root 1. Okay? And it has the Shava under the nutty prefix Yod. That's characteristic of the PL. If you don't trust me, then look at your principal parts at the WCI form. What do you see? Va, y, fa, kade, right? Va, y, vocal shava, fa, pathak, and then a sere was what we would have here, except when I add the shurik, then the sere reduces to vocal shava. Okay, so this is a PL. And they praised. So when they heard his wisdom, they praised et Elohei Yisrael. There's another direct object. And this is a construct chain. Thing 1, thing 2, because I see the Canadian ending here. So whom did they praise? They praised the God of Israel. Okay, they praised the God of Israel. All right. Any questions about this? Yeah. I must have been sleeping in class. I think that's the first time I've heard you say that. Okay. Can you just explain that? Yeah. What I said while you were asleep was that when you have a Squinum Levy letter, and these are those letters, Yod, Vav, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Kof, and sibilants, which are Samik, Sin, Shin, and so forth, the hissing consonants. If I have a vocal shava and a Dagesh Forte accompanying these, Dagesh Forte inside and a vocal shava below, I will frequently see the Dagesh Forte fall out. It doesn't always fall out, but it frequently does. That was covered in chapter 27? We actually saw this somewhere else, I think, but I just covered it a little while ago. All right. So yeah, without the Squinum Levy issue, Va Yehalalu is how I would have expected this form to show up. I would have normally seen a doubling dot in the yod for the imperfect 3MP prefix yod, and a doubling dot in the lamed root 2 because it is a Piel. But these are both squintum levi letters, and they've lost their dagesh forte with the vocal shava under them. Same thing here in Vaihi, right? I would have expected a dagesh forte in that prefix yod with the WCI vav, but it fell out with the vocal shava under it. So you're going to see this more. Again, if you know the vowels, you can still parse this. There's no other form that this could be, because only the PL gets the shava under the prefix and the pathak under root 1. No other stem does that. Okay, other questions? Let's look at number 6 here. Okay, let me read this for you. Bayom hahu amar Adonai akavetz etchem elai mibein hagoyim. Let's look at this initial prepositional phrase. Bayom hahu. What does that mean? Yes, in that day or on that day. Good. Literally on the day, the that, right? So on that day, Amar Adonai. Adonai spoke or said. Okay. How would you parse Amar here? Well, that's an easy one. It's got all of the vowel points of the standard Cal Perfect, doesn't it? So that's a Cal Perfect 3MS. Adonai said. And then what Adonai said becomes the quotation here. So in English, we're going to want to put quotation marks around this. Now, so this is Yahweh speaking. So now I have avakates here. This is one of our newer verbs. I'm sorry, akavates. Not avakates, but akavates. Kavatz. This is where we get the word kibbutz from. A kibbutz is a collective farm in Israel. Kavatz means to collect or to gather. All right. Now, notice, what do I have in root 2? What's that dot? That's a dagesh forte, which means this is a Piel or a Pual. Look at the pathak under root 1. That must be a Piel. Good. And if it's a Piel, I now need to figure out what the conjugation pattern is. I've got a yod prefix before root 1. This must be the Piel what? Imperfect 1CS. Okay, so I will what? I will gather. So this is what Yahweh said. I will gather etchem. Here's my direct object marker with which pronoun? Not them, but it's 2MP, right? It's you or you all. I will gather you all. Elai. We saw this preposition just a second ago. This is the preposition el. What does that mean? To. Which pronoun is this? Yes. Once yes. So it's to whom? To me. So I will gather you, plural, to me. Me bain. This is the preposition min. What happened to the noon? It has assimilated. So this is the preposition min plus the word bain. Now look, you know 2 words that are pronounced bain. One with the yod and one without the yod. When bain comes with the yod, what does it mean? Between or among. Okay? When bain has no yod, it's the word son. Okay, so this is between or among. So from among hagoyim, the Gentiles, the nations. Okay? So on that day, Yahweh said, I will gather you to me from among the Goyim, from among the Gentiles. All right. Are there any specific questions about what we just did? Anything we need to clarify? Yeah, we can do number 7. Let's look there. All right. Here we go. I have, for the text, Asafara El Chok Adonai Amar Elai Beni Ata. Okay? So, this is one of our new verbs, safar. There's my 3 root letters. What's in root 2? Dagesh forte. Okay? So this is either a Piel or a Pual. Which one is it? Looking at root 1, it's the Piel. Good. I have an aleph prefix and a kamate on the back side. So which conjugation pattern is this? Cohortative, first, common, singular. That's right. So first common singular. Now, how can I translate the cohortatives? I could say, let me, may I, or there's also one other way to translate the cohortative, and that is with very strong volition or will. I will do something. Okay? And that seems to be the case here. What does safar mean in the PL? Okay, yeah, in the cal, it means to count or number something. In the PL, to recount, that is to tell, narrate. So I will tell. El Chok. Here, this is a special use of the word el, and I'm sort of surprised that he didn't give you a footnote to this effect. But this is indicating the topic of the speaking here. I will tell concerning Chok, decree. And then what is that decree? Adonai Amar Elai. Yahweh has said, Elai, to whom? There's that one CS pronoun. To me, quote, Beni Ata. What's Beni? This is Bain with which pronoun? The same pronoun we just saw a second ago. My son, Ata, is which this is the independent pronoun. Which one is it? Yep, it's 2ms. My son are you, or you are my son. Okay? You are my son. We'll take ata as the subject, but sometimes what the subject is can be fronted or put in front. All right? I could say, a man you are. A man you are. As Yoda would speak, right? So my son you are, or you are my son. Okay?
I'm trying to figure out how that sentence makes sense. Yeah. The first part with the second part.
Yeah. Well, this is reflecting that Psalm 2 passage, okay? So the psalmist is saying, I will tell of the decree, meaning the Lord has made a solemn declaration. The Lord said to me, and then here's what he said. You are my son. So the king is speaking as this messianic figure who has received a decree from the Lord.